Well, I've been practicing with this camera by filming the wedding that I can see across the street and in some sort of park or hotel thing outside my compound. I have to film through barbed wire and across a really busy street. So it's not been the best quality, but it's been really interesting. These are typical Pakistani weddings. They go on forever. And now I've been waiting for the big event, but it's 11:30 and I have a 7 a.m. meeting, so I may not be able to wait. But they started getting ready for this about noon. And I showed you the men making the flowers and the fruit baskets. I stumbled into the hair salon to make a massage appointment, and the bridal party was all in there. And they looked at me as if I was a man walking in on a room full of naked women, so I backed right out. But I can tell you that it's beautiful. The henna, she had 27 diamonds in her hair, the hairstylist told me. So something like a Jewish chuppah, although I wouldn't use that language with them. While they're waiting on the bride and groom, who are expected to arrive about midnight, they've actually been married for about 3 weeks. The actual marriage ceremony takes place in a legal office with just the groom and his family. And then 3 weeks later, they formalize things with an event such as this. And about 30% of the time, they never actually make it to the formalization. So I guess that's their version of giving everyone a way out. It's also common in this culture for the groom to give the bride a dowry, which her family keeps as protection against his leaving her or choosing additional wives to take her place as head wife. And he also has to buy her elaborate jewelry, a necklace, bracelets, earrings, which equal about $10,000 in American money. You really can't see anything worth a darn, but these women's outfits are extraordinary. They're made out of silk with real gemstones sewn into them. Each one, I was told, can cost $3,000 or $4,000. And all of this is a culture that most of the people can't really afford it. Pakistanis don't eat dinner until after 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Can't find a meal at 7. And they take their small children everywhere. And these two have been getting in trouble all night long, but they are playing around on the bridal couch. And they'll do so until they get kicked off, and then they'll come right back up again. So I think everyone's finally given up on actually trying to kick them out. They float those balloon clusters in the pool. They're actually weighted to the bottom of the pool and rim everything with lights. It's very difficult to see with the photographer's lights everywhere. But all of this seating is in a really big rectangle, and they're all set in conversational groupings. They don't actually eat meals. They mingle and eat, smoke the hook pipe. So you'll be happy to hear it's not at all a Yankee wedding. It's much more of a Southern type wedding. These folks here are admiring the bridal jewelry, which is presented in a glass case. And right before the bride comes out, they'll put it on her. And then right after the ceremony, it'll go back in the case for more admiring. So the guests are just beginning to gather for this event. And when I stumbled into the bride's room, it was probably 7:30. So she's been getting her hair done and her makeup done ever since. But mostly, I suspect she's been hanging out with her friends. It looked like she had about 16 in the actual bridal party. Kids have a grand old time playing up on the wedding days. Children are definitely allowed to be children here. I've really never seen any sign of discipline at all. I'm sure it happens, but I've never seen it in public. And in restaurants or other public places, kids are allowed to just scream and carry on as they wish. I think everyone is gathering here, so maybe I'll actually get to stay awake for the presentation. Finally, just after midnight, the bride and groom appear. They were brought out under great secrecy, in darkness, and then the lights were turned on. Everyone begins to make speeches. Now they're alone for a moment, and now her family joins them for more speeches. As you can see, they're very formal.